Okay, welcome to the BUS155 online orientation, the e-version. By now you should have already logged into the Blackboard site, and when you do, you'll actually see this home page. You can see that this is where where you'll always end up when you log into Blackboard using your 9-digit student ID and password. And hopefully you've downloaded the syllabus, and hopefully you've even clicked through some of these buttons, and so you are ready to go. What I want to point out today is one of the most important buttons beyond the syllabus, and that's the heart and soul of the course, which is the weekly assignments and or the assignment schedule. So let's take a look at that button, because that's where you will be spending most of your time. If we were to click on weekly assignments and then click on weekly assignments again, because when you do that, you'll see you also have a final project folder, you'll see that all of the weeks in which you need to do work are organized into folders, and this will help orient you so you'll know what you need to do on each particular week. So what I always suggest is that you log in early. Begin on a Sunday and end on a Saturday. And what you might note when you log in is that you have a lot of things to do. There's usually some reading required, there's a lecture to watch, there's usually some kind of assignment, because you will have an assignment every week in this class. It will either be a quiz, it will be some kind of teamwork, or it will be some kind of discussion board. You want to make sure that you've logged in, you've done the reading, you've watched the lecture, so you're prepared to do the assignment. So let's go into one of the weeks so you can see what it was. Here we are in one of the weeks in which you can see, and this is one of the weeks that's coming up, that there is a lecture, that there is some material to read and some information, and that there's actually a weekly assignment. In this case, it's a teamwork weekly assignment. But as I mentioned, it could be something like a quiz, it could actually be a discussion board or something like that. So again, weeks beginning on a Sunday, ending on a Saturday. Your assignments are always due on the Saturday at 11:59, and depending on what the assignment is, if it's in this case some kind of teamwork, you would upload it to me directly. If it's some kind of quiz, you'll do the quiz under the quiz and exams button, and if it's some kind of discussion, you'll do that under the discussion button. So let's go over what the important points are. That weeks do begin on a Sunday and end on a Saturday. That every week you'll have an assignment. It will be a quiz, teamwork, or some kind of discussion. Note that assignments count for 25 points each, but that I only count 11 out of 12, giving you the flexibility to either miss an assignment, or perhaps you'll decide just not to do the last assignment. I encourage you to look at the grading scale and note that the last assignment and the last exam could be the ones that you decide not to do, so you could end up actually finishing the course early. Now, exams you'll have an hour and 15 minutes to do, and quizzes you'll have 20. And it's an important note that I only count 3 out of 4, but one other important note, that exams and quizzes must be completed once they're launched. Sometimes when you launch an exam or quiz, Blackboard will give you a message that you can save and resume the quiz or exam for later, and I'm here to tell you that you can't. The only reason Blackboard says that is it's in the event of a power failure or an internet failure. I want to give you the opportunity to log back in and complete your exam or quiz without having to contact me. So you really can't resume and save it for later, even if Blackboard tells you you can. But if you do experience a power outage or internet failure, there's no problem getting back into your quiz or exam. Now, if you clicked around the course already, you probably noticed that teamwork is required in this online course, and that's why it's important that you introduce yourself to the other members of the class in week 1, and then by week 2 you start finding people with whom you think you can work and start creating a team. Teamwork is required throughout the course, but it's most important for the final project. So your final project and some of the weekly assignments do require that you work in a team, and I think 4 to 5 is optimal. The final project is due on Tuesday, May 1st at 5 o'clock. And this is the only project that requires you or one member of your team come to campus. It must be hand-delivered or mailed. Now, sometimes I hear from different students, and they mention to me that a teammate didn't work, or a teammate wasn't helping, and he or she wasn't working on the project. Therefore, they feel it necessary to stop all work and not do the project. And I want to tell you that's probably not a good thing to do. This happens sometimes in the work world where we're working on teams and there are some members who aren't contributing, but the deadline is the deadline. And so you as a team and the other members must continue your work and hand the project in on the deadline. And let me know who didn't contribute. If you are a non-contributor, you will lose the 25 points for that project. And if you choose to not contribute on the final, you could lose all of the points for the final as well. The last thing I want to mention is how to get in touch with me. You can always use the discussion boards. You can always call. You can always come to office hours. But I find that online students tend to like email, and I do too. It's probably the best and fastest way to get in touch with me, and I'm guaranteed to get back to you pretty quickly if you use email. Now, if you post things on the discussion board, remember email's a little bit faster. I suggest doing that maybe to communicate with other students. I will get back to you on the discussion board, but I'm very, very quick with email. And that concludes our fast and quick e-version of the orientation for Business 155. Remember, do read the entire syllabus, do click around the Blackboard site, and most important, do visit the classroom blog so that you can introduce yourself and start going on your first week's assignment. Don't forget to check out that final project. It's under Weekly Assignments Final Project folder. You want to know what's involved so you can make sure that you pick the right and best team for you. Thank you, and have a great semester, and I look forward to seeing you online.